What's good, 99 Dream family? We back at it, episode 44 of the 99 Dream Journey. My name is Julian Taliaferro. You already know we coming again with another weekly business update, lessons for the week, and topic for the day, which is mentality and philosophy. And for this episode, I'm going to begin with the quote for this week, which is, "Time passes fast and things move slow," from Aaron Chavez. And this is really just a reminder to stay on it, to stay on your P's and Q's because things will take time. And again, the quote is, "Time passes fast and things move slow," from Aaron Chavez. And now I can get to my business update. So this week, I really more so dived into the theory of customer interviews and customer discovery, and I did some customer interviews as well. But the purpose of this is to get validation for my idea, for the vision that I have of my startup. And at the stage that I'm at currently, I really need to identify the correct pain points of my target market. And these pain points will be something that's significant to the client, significant to my customers, to the point that they'll pay for it when I offer them a solution. And I recently read two good books on customer interviews. The first one being Raving Fans, and the second one being Talking to Humans. And both of these books help orient my thinking towards customer service, but also how I want to approach going about customer interviews. And ultimately, the most important thing is just going out there and talking to people, going out there in person, and going right to the source to get this information. And this is really non-negotiable. And both of these books really allowed me to see the methodology when it comes to the customer interviews. And it begins with first setting up a list of risky hypotheses that you have in your business. And then you have to go out and do the interviews with that objective in mind and find answers to these hypotheses that you have. And each time you do an interview, you iterate and you iterate and you iterate. You iterate on the questions, you iterate on what you want out of the questions, you iterate on who you interview as well. So it's a constant learning process and you're constantly developing and getting more and more specific into what you really want. And in the end, you'll end up being a better interviewer, and that will allow you to get more valuable responses from the people that you interview. But then when you get these answers from the prospective customers, the people that you talk to, you have to know how to parse out the information that they give you. You need to know how to assess the information that they give you. And they call it being able to separate the noise from the sound. That's one part of it, but it's also being able to read the body language of the clients, being able to read what they don't say. And this is really important when it comes to you crafting your solution, because at the end of the day, it's my priority to come up with the solution that I want to offer them. But I need to first truly identify what are they struggling with, what is the real problem. And it's all about filling the client needs, not just about having a vision of a startup, having a vision of a business, and then acting on that. So that's my business update, and now I can get into my lessons of the week, and I have two of them. So my first one is just to see things through. No matter what you're feeling in a certain situation, no matter if you're nervous, no matter if you're anxious, you have to see it through and perform. No matter what, no questions about it. You have to see it through always. And then my second lesson is respect every win, no matter how small. So, for example, yesterday I was able to do my first random in-person interview when it comes to trying to figure out my startup and doing my customer interviews. And what had happened was I ended up going to the mall in San Antonio where they have some luxury stores, and I was trying to go up to people who was leaving these luxury stores and ask them about their customer experience and their luxury experience that they just had. And this may seem small to a lot of people, but for me, it's a big win for three reasons. The one, just because I was able to do it. The second reason is because now I can set this objective behind me and then move the needle forward in my business and start having more and more customer interviews. And then three, just because I learned from this experience, I learned how I should probably approach somebody when I do a cold approach. I should maybe use different words when I'm in the interview and things like that. So it's all a learning process, and that's a win for me, and I respect it. So again, my two lessons of the week are: one, to see things through no matter what, and then secondly, respect every win no matter how small. So now I can get to my topic, which is mentality and philosophy. So from my perspective, the way that I understand these two words, mentality is the way that you live your life, and then philosophy is why you live your life that way. And I put a lot of thought into how I want to live my life, but I've always needed to find reasons behind that. And you can have a certain mentality, but there always needs to be something to reinforce why you have that mentality, why you take that path. And there needs to be a certain basis and background, which then allows that mental state to flourish. And I believe that that is philosophy. So there must be consistency between the two. There can't be a difference. And if there is, then there's going to be internal conflict. Your mentality and your philosophy have to reflect one another. And for me personally, I know sometimes I may see a high achieving person and I'm like, I want that mentality. I want what they have. But I had to realize that all I see is the end result. I don't know what it took to mold that mentality into fruition. All I see is how they're acting. And while I realize that I can't compare mentalities, everyone's is different. All I need to do is focus on generating mine. And that then brings up the question, what do I create first? Do I create my mentality first? Or do I create my philosophy? And I believe that is philosophy. I think that we discover our philosophy after looking deep within ourselves, peeling back the layers, stripping ourselves bare, and breaking down our past so we can then form the future. And with this understanding, we can then forge a mentality that is unique to our purpose and is foolproof because it's authentic to what our past showed us and authentic to what we want to achieve in the future. So day by day, I know I'm consistently trying to build my philosophy and see what does my philosophy truly encompass through all different areas of my life. And this will then naturally lead to a change in mentality. So I believe this is important just because I think that there's value in knowing the way that you live your life, knowing the way that you want to live your life. And if you know if your mentality is to go hard 24/7 or to love or to learn, when you figure that out, it can then just be a lot easier to streamline your purpose and streamline on your mission. So that's my topic, mentality and philosophy. And now I can get to my next steps, which are just to continue to build. And that's it for this episode. So, all right, let's get it, y'all. Go and achieve y'all 99 dream. And it's 99 dream because you are going to achieve your dream. And it would be 100%, but nobody, nothing is perfect. So you're going to achieve 99% of that. And let's go and let's get it.